welcome to the Daily Planet Newsroom. Here on the channel in videos like this, I'm going to be talking about my reaction to certain bits of news that are floating out around there in the culture. This section of the channel is going to be covering all kinds of different news. It could be movie news, it could be TV news, it could be trailer reactions, it could be whatever. I just wanted to put a cool DC name to it because, you know, I'm a DC shill. Anybody that watches the channel knows that. So, Daily Planet Newsroom. I don't know, I just figured it would fit. And, you know, that makes sense because today I'm talking about a DC-related topic. Got our first look at Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey has been shooting for a few weeks now. It's one of those DC films that's actually in production, not just something that's rumored or something that's in development. Like, it's actually being produced and shot as we speak. As a director, it has a writer, it has its principal cast, it has everything it needs to get rolling, and today was the first time that we actually got to see a little bit of a peek behind the curtain. We got to see some test footage, or maybe like a small teaser, some behind-the-scenes stuff. Margot started the ball rolling when she teased a picture on her Instagram that showed Harley Quinn just sitting there going, "Hey, what's up?" Quick rundown, really quick. Birds of Prey in DC Comics lore is a group of female anti-heroes slash heroes that team up and they have different adventures. Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl, is usually a member of that group as well. We get a first peek behind the curtain. We get to see some of the first looks, some of the characters in their costumes, and overall we get a lot of interesting looks at these guys, and I want to break all that down. Keep in mind, this is just a first look. It doesn't mean these are the final looks. It doesn't mean this is how they're going to be portrayed and how they're going to look in the movie. This is just like a brief little snapshot of a moment behind the scenes with these characters. It's just a little tease. If anybody's upset or doesn't like the look or whatever, I totally get it as far as first impressions go. I want your first impression to be a pretty good thing, but I will tell you that there's plenty of room for other impressions down the road. Starts off with Margot. When you see Margot as Harley Quinn, she has her classic mallet that, you know, we all associate with Harley Quinn. She's wearing a weird-ass outfit that it seems appropriate. Only Harley would wear an outfit like that. Granted, when I first saw it, I did feel a little bit weirded out by it. Like, I'm kind of like, I don't know, that's not really a decent look for Harley, but what do I know? Like I said, it's something that's probably not going to be the final look. It's something that's going to change. It's going to evolve, just like the looks for all of the characters. We're going to get a lot more information about this movie as it rolls out. But as far as seeing Margot Robbie and her saying, "Hey, do you guys miss me?" I'm like, yes, Margot, we love you. I mean, I know a lot of people shit on Suicide Squad, but I think we can all agree the one thing about that movie that was probably the most highly praised was the portrayal of Harley Quinn by Margot Robbie. Then you find out that Margot Robbie is essentially the reason for all of this happening. She produced it. She pitched the idea to Warner Brothers. It just makes sense. And I think it's a really good way to integrate Harley back into this universe. It's been 3 years since we've seen her. She's a cash cow. You have to milk a cash cow for as much as you can. Curious about her role in the story, though. I don't really know. Are they going to portray her like as a straight-up hero, or is she still going to be anti-hero? Is she going to be a little bit of villain? Is she a wild card like Joker is supposed to be back in Suicide Squad? I don't know. That's just something we're going to have to wait and see. Now, I do want to talk about Black Canary for a second because Black Canary is one of my all-time favorite heroes. I am obsessed with Black Canary. Like, I am a diehard Black Canary stan. I have loved Black Canary for almost my entire life now. I love her. I've read her in comics. I've loved her in the animated media that she showed up in. I even tolerated her on Arrow for a while before they started doing a bunch of different stuff, and I don't know, I'm a little bit behind on Arrow, so maybe I need to catch up. Point is, I love Black Canary. I'm obsessed with her. I'm actually kind of protective of her, and I do want to see her done justice on the big screen. Jurnee Smollett-Bell is a very talented, very beautiful actress, and I thought, okay, from an acting standpoint, she definitely could pull this off. As far as her look goes in this first look, I thought, you know what, that's actually pretty damn decent. That's actually better than I thought it would. I love the fact that they're showing her already out the gate as a singer. You see a brief snapshot of her in this teaser, and she has the mic in front of her, and you also see her blonde hair. She has dirty blonde hair in this one. A lot of people were wondering, they were kind of like, okay, Black Canary is not traditionally black in the comics. Are they going to give her the blonde hair too? And I think we see from here that, yeah, they're definitely planning on at least experimenting with her in the blonde hair. Me, I would prefer to see my Black Canary with blonde hair in some way, shape, or form, whether it's a wig or whether it's her actual hair, but it's not a deal breaker for me. Like, I really just care about how the character is portrayed. Based on what I'm seeing so far, and based on Jurnee Smollett-Bell and how talented she is as an actress, I definitely think she can pull this off. It also helps that Jurnee Smollett-Bell has a background in singing. She has a musical background. That definitely helps because Black Canary in the comics has been portrayed as being a singer. Can I just point out for like the 1000th time how beautiful Jurnee Smollett-Bell is? I mean, Jesus Christ. I feel like sometimes I look at her and I just wish that I was like a button on her blouse, or I wish I was like reincarnated as a chair that she has to sit down on. Seriously, you ever just take a minute, step back from your life, and you realize I would actually function better in this life if I were a chair that Jurnee Smollett-Bell was sitting on. It just feels like a better use of my time as a man. I'm sorry. Great looks too. You see Ewan McGregor as Black Mask. Now, we don't actually see him with the Black Mask, but we know he's Black Mask in this movie. It's kind of like that old school rich gangster type, which I guess if that's what they're going for in this movie, kudos. I'm curious when we're actually going to see him with the black mask. I'm curious as to how he's going to get the black mask. And I'm also curious if this is going to be a permanent thing for him. Like maybe in the movie, just theorizing here, but maybe Harley does something messed up to him that gets the mask like melted permanently onto his face or something. I think that would be an interesting way to go, and he definitely looks good in here. Ewan McGregor, stunting as always, looks like he's still taking the high ground 14 years after Revenge of the Sith. I appreciate that. I think he looks good. And we want Black Max to eventually get to this. We want him to look like this at one point, but again, baby steps. Baby steps, people. I feel like we're gonna get there. Forget the actress's name, but we do get a brief look at Renee Montoya, aka The Question. She's in the comics, she ended up being The Question. Didn't really see much involved with her, but I am kind of excited to see more of her. We also get great shots of Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Huntress. Again, as far as the opening look goes, I think she looks pretty good. She looks like she could kick a lot of ass. We do see the crossbow, which obviously we need to see Huntress with a crossbow. And the one that was the most intriguing to me in this little teaser was Cassandra Cain. Now, if you don't know who Cassandra Cain is in the comics. She's known as a character who's either the orphan or the Batgirl, or, you know, she's gone by a lot of different names. Cassandra Cain is legitimately one of the most badass characters I think that's ever been written for DC. Like, you picture the Logan movie from a few years ago, you picture that young girl that played X-23. Okay, picture that for DC, except she's twice as violent. She's, you know, she's mute, she doesn't talk, and she's even a better fighter than that. She has a cast on in this tease. It has a bunch of things scrawled on it. One of them, it looked like it said Gotham is our home, asshole, or something like that. A bunch of F-bombs and stuff that are also scribbled on it. I'm a little bit curious about that cast. Is she going to start the movie with her arm broken, or is that something they just teased for the promo? Again, we don't really know. The thing I really liked seeing was Chris Medina as Zsasz. If you don't know who Victor Zsasz is, I mean, come on, man. He's like one of the most notorious serial killers in Gotham's history. He has the blonde hair like Victor Zsasz I've seen him have in the comics. We don't see the scars yet. Sure, we'll see them eventually, but, you know, you do kind of hope and wish that he does get those scars, because those scars are such a big part of Victor Zsasz's character. I could see he had a few on his face, so I don't know, I guess that counts a little bit. There's other little things in this first look that tease and make you ask questions, like, does Harley have a necklace around her neck that says Bruce? What the hell is that all about? The point is, as far as first looks go, I'm very excited for this. I'm very excited for Black Canary in particular because, again, I'm very obsessed with Black Canary and I want them to do her right. Hell, I want to do her right and I'm not even in the movie. That was pretty bad, right? Yeah, I also appreciate the tone and the aesthetic that this tease went for. It definitely feels like Suicide Squad mixed with Drive. Like the visuals, the neon lighting, the music, all of that. It just pulled off that kind of vibe, and I'm curious to see if the movie's gonna have that kind of tone. And I like my DC movies to have a lot of different tones. So guys, what did you think about the first look at the Birds of Prey? What are your theories about the story and how things are gonna turn out? Let me know in the comment section below. Stay tuned for more videos. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show. And if you like what you see, tell me how you feel and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.